You were referred to me by a mutual friend of ours, Tony Miller,
Yeah.
and I was going to ask you how did you meet Tony? What was your first impressions of Tony when you met him?
Well, Tony was so Tony was my boss, but
Mine
Tony
too.
was put in this weird position where I was at an agency. That agency had acquired another agency, and as part of that, their creative director got brought into the mix. But then Tony was hired before that person was let go. Like it was just I just felt for Tony because as things happen in advertising, he was put into this very weird position, sitting in another office, kind of waiting to take over the creative department, basically.
Oh, okay.
And I had been an account guy. I had been an account director, but that had, kind of been on stage and everything, and I got caught in a hotel fire and decided I told my boss that my life flashed before my eyes and account services didn't make the final cut. And so I wanted to move into the creative department. So Tony kind of inherited this mess of a creative department, as well as me, a guy who had only just started writing formally in advertising. And he was he was just like, no bullshit, right? Like just no bullshit, but also not no bullshit in a like, I'm going to tell you, like he was just like such a great guy and nothing seemed to bother him. And he taught me how to write. He taught me how to write, and he taught me how to think. He has a very specific way of thinking about campaigns, and there's a bunch of different ways that you can go at it. But Tony was such a prolific writer that's how he kind of generated campaign ideas, where he would like write 50 headlines and then go, oh, like there's a bigger idea in that headline, and then he would extrapolate the idea out of the headline, which is such a writer's first kind of approach to creative thinking. But at the end of the day, Tony taught me how to write. And now 2 books later, I owe him a lot.
That's incredible because I was just thinking about your backstory and your career, and it's just amazing because your superpower seems to be spoken and written words. That is what you are great at. That's what you've built your life on, it seems like. Would that be accurate, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think getting, kind of being comfortable in presenting ideas to people in a kind of a unique and entertaining way. And then once I knew how to do that, then it was like the writing was a written version of that. So I kind of write how I speak. And so there are speakers who write and writers who speak. So even though I was trained as a writer in the business, I think I'm still a speaker first writer.